Hello, welcome to Yoga in Your PJs. This is class number 2 of our series on Henry David Thoreau's wisdom. So I hope you enjoyed the first class. It was all about simplicity, simplify, simplify, simplify. So tonight we're going to practice to a second principle of Thoreau. And we're going to start on our back. So come to your back. It's cold here tonight. I don't know when you're going to watch this, but it's cold here tonight in Virginia, but have your blankets ready. So come to your back. Give yourself a nice full body stretch. Oh, I'm gonna let you stretch and maybe wiggle from side to side. Just feel into your body. How's your body feeling tonight? One of the yoga PJ person told me, I'm going to bed early today. It's too cold. I'll watch it later. So feeling into your body. If you're feeling cold, know that we're going to create some heat, as we talked about last week. Now hug your knees to your chest. Hug your knees to your chest. Notice if you want to move or if you want to be still. As we talked about last week, and Thoreau's wisdom is very much the wisdom of the yogis, of the Vedas, of Ayurveda. All we need in life is we keep that internal heat to stay alive. We need to keep that heat. And now you're going to hug just one knee. Pick the knee you want to hug and relax the other leg. And notice if you want to move again, move that leg or just be still. And once we have enough to survive, to be warm, enough food, shelter, clothing and fuel if needed, then we need to take care of that other heat, that spiritual heat. And as Thoreau said, you need some books, you need something to write on, something to write with, a lamp, and you set. And allow the knee that you're hugging to fall into a half butterfly. Open your arms by your side or bring them overhead, whatever feels good. Just breathe. And now release full body stretch. Hug the other knee to your chest. Relax the other leg. So tonight, our second Thoreau principle is nature. Obviously, Thoreau loved nature. He went back in nature to write his book to find himself. Now allow the leg that you're hugging to fall to the side, a half butterfly. Breathe. Thoreau tells us we can never have enough of nature. We can never have enough of nature. Because nature is not something we have, it's something we are. We can never have enough of nature because nature is not something we have, it's something we are. Now bring your knees back to center, hug them again. Now grab behind your thighs, roll back up, take as many times as you need to. And we're going to come into a wide-legged position here. Let me go back a little bit so you can see. Wide-legged position. And we're just going to hold here for a little bit. Now, if that's not really comfortable for you, you can put your pillows, the bolsters behind you, or the legs don't have to be so wide. You can open them a little less. Try to have the knees facing up. Now we're going to inhale up, exhale, fold to your right or whatever side you prefer, and lean to the side. And you know, some people will be all the way down. Some people like me will be at the top. Just be where feels good to you. Feel the stretch here in your obliques. So notice how you are different in nature. And actually, one way to calm our nervous system is to go in nature. Inhale back up, exhale other side. In Ayurveda, we say that the two great regulators of our nervous system, there are two regulators of our nervous system, and they are nature and God. So nature, and I guess the spiritual life. Inhale back up. Now exhale, fold forward. And here, you can bring that bolster here. You can prop it up, and you can fold over that bolster. Or you can just stay here. Just be wherever feels right. Those forward fold are some of the most challenging poses we can do. I know they're hard for me. So we do what's available to us. Tuck the chin down. Remember, in yin, it's not about a goal. It's a marathon. Yin is more of a marathon. It's just holding where we are. We're going to do 30 more seconds. If you want, you can put your chin on the block. So in nature, we find our nature. We connect to our nature in nature. And that's the beauty of it. Two more breaths. Inhale, reach forward and then up. Keep breathing, keep breathing. Take your time, take your time, take your time. Then arms behind you, squeeze the shoulder blades together. Lift the heart, lift the hips if you want. Deep breath in. Exhale, release. Let go of the bolster if you need to. We're going to come to our side. So whichever way you want to be, whichever side you want to be, come all the way to your side. Make space. Kick stuff out of the way if you need to. So try to be in a place where you are not leaning forward and not leaning back. So kind of adjust your PJs. Stack your hips. Now bend the knees. They're facing forward. Again, lift the core. And we're going to do the clamshell. So this arm can be here or behind you. We're going to open and close. Open and close. Super, super slow. Nature is the great regulator. I know today, for example, I had quite a lot of work to do, emails to write. And it's cold outside. I didn't feel like going out. But I knew I had to go out in nature, not just for the exercise, but just to recharge, because I felt a little drained from writing all those emails and from my work. So I went out in the park and I really felt recharged. Not just my body, but my mind and my spirit. Two more. Make them nice and slow. So this is a great little exercise for the hips. It really is. And when you come out, hold out the top. Hold it. Ooh. Super, super slow down. Super, super slow down. Release. Now straighten the bottom leg. And we're going to put this foot behind the other leg. So kind of adapt, bring it a little closer to the leg, a little more, whatever feels right to you. My foot is really close to the leg, but I'm moving it a little away from the leg because otherwise I have a tendency to go back. So put the foot where it feels right without you collapsing back. And lift the core to keep yourself nice and level. Go to 30 seconds. Try to relax the head. So Thoreau totally went back to nature. And he was not far from the city of Concord. I mean, he was not far at all. If you've been there to the Walden Pond, it's not far from Concord at all. But he really lived the natural life with very, very few things, as we talked about last week. And he planted and grew his own food. And now super slowly, the leg that was in the back, you're going to bring it this time in the front. So foot by the leg, and you want that outward motion. As you exhale, outward, that leg goes back without the whole body going back. So stay grounded. He rose at sunrise. He went to bed at sunset. He was really becoming familiar. In his book, he tells us about all the little habits of the animals around him. He knows when the birds sing, when the birds get up, when the birds become silent. He knows all their habits because he becomes attuned to nature. And he was calmer. He felt very much at peace. He was happy. Now we're going to do the cat pulling its tail. So bring the top leg forward, as far forward as you can. And then you're going to bend the other leg, grab the foot, if that's okay. If it's not, just keep the leg like this. That's okay. And we're going to stay here for about a minute. Just close your eyes and breathe. So being in nature returns us to our own nature, our own human nature, which is, the ancient yogis tell us, that our true nature is essentially good. We want to do good. We want to go deep. We want to have meaning and find meaning. Halfway there. Deep breath in. Exhale. Keep this leg extended. Roll over to your belly and chest. Put one hand on top of the other, forehead on the hands. And just relax. And bring the legs closer together. Breathe. And when you're ready, turn to the other side. And we're going to rinse and repeat. Make sure you're nice and comfortable. Bend the knees. Lift the core. Clamshell. So Thoreau, it's not all about, oh, nature is beautiful and amazing and everything's perfect. No, he talks about too how in nature we learn about pain. We learn about suffering. He talks about how, animals eating each other, animals fighting, and for survival. So he said nature tells us about the nature of life, of birth, of death, of suffering, of pain, but also of happiness. Listening to the birds, it's just beautiful. And of the simple pleasures of life. Hold at the top, hold. Super slow down, super slow down. Take your time, take your time. Whew. Strain just the bottom leg, and then put this one leg in the back. So kind of put your foot where it feels right, where you feel the stretch without collapsing back, and hold. Never take nature for granted. Only take what you need from nature. Pillaging from nature, taking more than we need it's devastating for all the little critters that live there and then have nothing to eat. And for the cycle of nature. Deep breath in, exhale. Now put this foot in the front. Place it where it feels comfortable. A little higher, a little lower. And then you want to step back. You want to exhale and press the leg back. Now cat putting its tail up. Extend that front leg, bend the other leg, grab the foot, and just be. Breathe. Deep breath in, exhale, keep the leg extended. Roll over to your belly in your chest and rest. Forehead on the hands. Now bring the legs together. Rest. And come up to your hands and knees and child's pose. Now coming to the frog. So you open your knees as wide as you can, feet as wide as you can. You come down. Remember, you can rest on the bolster. If you want, so the more relaxing. Every time you exhale, let your belly be nice and big. Surrender to the earth. So we can never have enough of nature because nature is not something we have, it's something we are. And he also said, I suppose that what in other men is religion is in me the love of nature. The first gods of humans, of our first humans, they were all nature related. The main god was the sun in all traditions, all cultures, all old religions. The first god was the sun. And then the rain, the storm, and then the moon, the sky. He also tells us nature is as well adapted to our weaknesses as to our strength. So you find beautiful example of strength in nature. I mean, look at a mound, look at an ocean, a river. Look at the strength of animals. But then in nature too, we also see, our weaknesses. We see things which die in nature, which see things that are destroyed by lightning, that are destroyed by a flood. So we can see everything in nature. It reflects our own nature. 3 more breaths. Big toes together. Keep the knees wide. Sit back and relax in the baby frog. Again, you can have a bolster here, which is what I'm having today. And then if you want your choice, we can do the shoulders with the palm ups, like one arm under the opposite shoulder, relax. Release. Other side. Release. Regular child's pose. Bring your knees closer together. Down. Or again, use that bolster. Come up to hands and knees. We're going to do a few cat and cow. Exhale. Inhale. And hold either the cat or the cow. Which one feels really good tonight? And we're going to do a tiger tail. Bring one leg back, shake it, and then bring it to the other side. On the toes or flat on the foot, whatever you prefer. Back to center, wiggle your hips. Other side, other leg back, and bring it to the side. This is always a great hip release. Center, shake your hips or whatever feels good. Cat and cow, hip rolls. Now we're going to do our Sphinx. So come all the way down. Oh, stack your elbows under your shoulders. Or remember, another way you can do your Sphinx is you put a bolster or pillows here, and you want to put your chest. So your actual chest is on the pillow, on the bolster, and that's to give your shoulders a little bit of a break. Otherwise, sometimes we put a little more strain than we should on our shoulders in Sphinx. So relax the upper body. If you like this, you can put the crown of your head to the block. So that's a really relaxed way to do your Sphinx. We're going to be here for about a minute. So whichever way you're doing it, relax, soften your face. Thoreau talks to us about the liberties, the freedom that we feel in nature. He says, I go and come with a strange liberty in freedom. And what he writes about it is really beautiful. This is a delicious evening when the whole body is one sense and imbibes delight through every pore. I go and come with a strange liberty in nature as part of herself. As I walk along the stony shore of the pond in my shirt sleeves, though it is cool as well as cloudy and windy, and I see nothing special to attract me, all the elements are unusually congenial to me. The bullfrogs trump to usher in the night, and the note of the whippoorwill is borne on a rippling wind from over the water. Sympathy with the fluttering alder and poplar leaves almost takes away my breath. Yet, like the lake, my serenity is rippled but not ruffled. I love this. My serenity is rippled but not ruffled. The repose is never complete. The wildest animals do not repose, but seek their prey now. The fox and skunk and rabbit now roam the fields and woods without fear. They are nature's watchmen, links which connect the days of animated life. So in nature, we feel a beautiful sense of freedom. Now we're going to release. Just release from the Sphinx. Arms by your side. Take a break. And now come up to hands and knees. Move your hips, find a gentle child's pose. If you want, cup your hands for this one. And we're going to go right into the swan or pigeon. So if you know you're doing it on your back, come to your back now, or you can do it from hands and knees or downward dog. Curl your toes, bend one leg, bring the knee by the wrist, long back leg. Fly on that back leg, and then come down. And as always, you can use the pillow if you want. You can also do the pose on your back, ankle above the knee, grab behind the thigh. We're here for 2 to 3 minutes. Thoreau also tells us that there can be no dark melancholy to the person who lives in the midst of nature and has his senses still, peaceful. And this is very much a yogic principle that what causes us unhappiness is that we are agitated, controlled by the senses. Instead of letting our senses bring us to peace and stillness, we let ourselves be controlled and overwhelmed by all the sensory distractions, attractions. In nature, your senses are alive, but they are never too agitated. That's the principle of pratyahara in yoga. Allow the senses not to distract you, but to bring you within to peace. Again, Thoreau and the Transcendentalists were very much students of the ancient Eastern texts of the Vedas, some of the first to know about those texts. So he enjoys the sensory sensations without letting them be a burden, draining or overwhelming. He writes, "While I enjoy the friendship of the seasons, I trust that nothing can make life a burden to me. The gentle rain which waters my beans and keeps me in the house today is not dreary and melancholy, but good for me too. Though it prevents me hoeing them, it is far more worth than my hoeing." If it should continue so long as to cause the seeds to rot in the ground and destroy the potatoes in the lowlands, it would still be good for the grass and the uplands, and being good for the grass, it would be good for me. He says he never feels lonesome or oppressed by a sense of solitude. In the midst of a gentle rain, while these thoughts prevailed, I was suddenly sensible of such sweet and beneficent society in nature, in the very pattering of the drops, and in every sound and sight around my house, an infinite and unaccountable friendliness all at once, like an atmosphere sustaining me. Every little pine needle expanded and swelled with sympathy and befriended me. Take a couple more breaths. Super slow, come up. If that's okay, or stay low. Or you can come up, you can bend the back leg. And release, nice and slow. If you're on your back, just hug your knees. If you were on your knees, you can come to your hands and knees. Oh, downward dog. Shake it off. Mm. Then if you're on your back, left ankle above right knee. If you're in downward dog or hands and knees, the other leg high. Bring the knee by the wrist. Go around through the back leg and come down. The bolster is my friend today. So I'm going to use the bolster. Thoreau also talks about the medicines of nature, that nature is medicine. And that's an Ayurveda principle. Everything in nature is medicine. And he also said that nature answers all our questions. The indescribable innocence and beneficence of nature, of sun and wind and rain, of summer and winter, such health, such cheer they afford forever, and such sympathy have they ever with our race that all nature would be affected, and the sun's brightness fade, and the wind would sigh humanly, and the clouds rain tears, and the woods shed their leaves and put on mourning in midsummer, if any man should ever for just cause grieve. Am I not partly leaves and vegetables mold myself? What is the pill which will keep us well, serene, contented? It is our great grandmother, nature's universal vegetable botanic medicines, by which she has kept herself young. And he goes on to talk about all the benefits of nature. Morning air. If men will not drink of this at the fountainhead of the day, why then we must even bottle up some and sell it in the shops for the benefit of those who have lost their subscription ticket to morning time in this world. Morning air. We've all heard the phrase, if I could only bottle that air. Morning air, mountain air, ocean, sea air. We'll do a couple more breaths. And he says, whenever we have a question that's unanswered, it's like you go in nature and nature will give you the answer. Now you can stay here or come up. You can bend the back leg if you want. And release, either in your down dog, hands and knees, whatever feels good, or hug your knees. And then when you're ready, you can join me on your back, but take the time to do your little counter poses if you need to, and then join me on your back. Hug your knees. Happy baby. Just hold your happy baby for almost a minute. Really allow yourself to feel grounded. also talks about the principle of the operations of nature. It's like observe how nature works. There's no book, there's no printed material, there's no instructions about how everything in nature should work, but it does. The sun rises, the sun sets. It's the moons, the waves, the way the season come. It is all a beautiful, almost um, magical way of being since the beginning of time. Now release your happy baby into a butterfly. Right. So it talks about a leaf. You know, leaves are everywhere. We just step on them. We we throw them away. We put them in plastic bags to be put in the trash. But look at the leaf. He said, look at the leaf. It's like nature made that leaf. Look at all the intricate parts of the leaf, the beauty of the leaf. And then, you can take it back to the branch it was hanging from, to the tree, and how new leaves are going to form as the old leaves die. The operation of nature. Now bring your legs back to center. We're going to do our twist. Cross one leg over the other, and then another leg to fold to the side of the top leg, and just breathe, relax. Now roll over to the side. Give yourself a hug if you need one. Back to center. Shake it off. Other side. And roll over to the side. Back to center. Oh, full body stretch. We're going to do legs up. So bring your legs up. If you are near a wall or something, you can put your legs up against them. You can also put the block under your lower back if you want. And allow yourself to recharge your legs. Nature. Man needs nature, Thoreau tells us. And he said, even its cruelty. And when he talks about the cruelty of nature, he talks about, the cycle of life and death, the cycle of survival. He says we can never have enough of nature. We must be refreshed by the sight of inexhaustible vigor, vast and titanic features. The seacoast with its wrecks, the wilderness with its living and its decaying trees, the thundercloud and the rain which lasts 3 weeks and produces freshets. We need to witness our own limits transgressed and some life pasturing freely where we never wander. I love to see that nature is so rife with life that myriads can be afforded to be sacrificed and suffered to prey on one another. And he talks about, seeing a vulture, observing a vulture feeding on a carrion. He said, disgust and disheartens us. But it's also what's, helping to keep nature clean. And each um, animal in nature has a role. We can never have enough of nature because nature is not something we have, it's something we are. Even when it's cruel, even when it's a little disgusting. Now, super slow, bring your legs down. Take your time, take your time, take your time. And then prepare for Yoga Nidra. Have your blankies. Make yourself cozy. You can put the bolster behind you, remember? And lay down on the bolster and put your head on a little pillow or the block. That's a good way to rest. Your legs can be open. You can also put something under your legs, whatever feels right. Deep breath in. Long exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Relax your body. Relax your mind. So we've had some snow in Virginia here. First snow in 3 years, I think. It was not a lot of snow, just a little bit of snow. And that snow became kind of muddy, slush, not very pretty. And as I was going to our pile of wood to pick up wood for the fireplace, and I grabbed the wood and my hands were all dirty and some of the wood was kind of yucky. Then my feet were all wet and I was like, gosh. And then I made my fire with the wood, and the fire was very nice. And then it started to snow again that night, and then it was pretty again. That is nature. Beautiful, it happens, and then it's kind of like, yeah, and then it's beautiful again, and it's a beautiful cycle, and we cannot do without it. So visualize yourself just behind a window, just looking at nature. Whatever it is that sometimes nature gives us and we're not sure if we like it or not. So you could be looking at snow falling, rain falling, wind, a very windy day. Nothing dangerous, just nature doing its thing. And then I invite you to go outside into nature and be with nature as it goes through its cycle. Be in the snow, be in the rain, be in the wind. Maybe protect yourself, put a coat on, a hat on, shoes on, and then go in nature and open your heart and yourself to the energy of nature that we cannot do without, that teaches us so much. And be there for a few moments, breathing in, breathing out. Mm. Up in, long exhale. Slowly coming back. Remember, you were out in nature. Now you're slowly walking back to your house, to the window from which you were looking at nature, feeling more alive, more regulated, more peaceful. Start to move your body if you want, or if you prefer to stay on your back in Yoga Nidra as long as you want to. Our mudra is still prana mudra, the energy mudra for the energy of nature. And thumb to ring and little fingers. And then palms up, receiving. We can never have enough of nature. We learn from nature as we observe the way it operates, the way it's not always all rosy and perfect, but it's a cycle, just like the cycle of life. We learn about our strengths and weaknesses from nature. And we learn that nature is not about having, it's about being. Nature is not something we have, it's something we are. We can never own nature. And nature is our greatest teacher. As Henry David Thoreau said, I went back to the woods because I wanted to learn about myself. I wanted to learn about humanity. I wanted to learn about our nature in nature. So I went back to the woods. Palms together, learning to go back to nature when we need to be regulated, when we feel overwhelmed. It will always bring us back to center. Sharing one Om if you want to join me. Inhale. My nature honors your nature. Namaste. Have a beautiful evening and a beautiful week. Go out in nature, even if it's a little cold. Bundle up. And I will see you next week for another principle. Hey, Laura.